this session is sponsored by Room to Breathe, which launched as a result of a revolutionary breakthrough in hygiene and hospitality. We've worked closely with the brand since they launched pre-COVID, and they really are setting new standards in hyperallergenic indoor environments. So that is Room to Breathe, and it's now time to welcome our speakers from all over the world. We are now virtually checking in to our speakers, which is, we're live from St. Lucia, Zimbabwe and France. So before we go any further, I want all of our panelists to introduce themselves really. So Carolyn, would you like to start?
Good morning from St. Lucia. Good afternoon, London. I'm Carolyn Trubetskoy. My husband Nick and I are the owners of two beautiful resorts in Soufrière, St. Lucia, called Anse Chastenay and Jade Mountain. Happy to be here this morning.
Thank you, Carolyn. And Kimberly?
Hi, my name is Kimberly Cohen. I'm the co-founder and artistic director of Maison Pariante, which is a collection of luxury hotels in France. We own 3 hotels, one in Méribel, Le Coucou, in the French Alps, one in Saint-Tropez, Loupiné, and one in Provence, which is called Hotel Crillon-le-Brave. And we are working on a new opening in Paris this time.
Amazing. And Sarah Gardner?
Hi there, I'm Sarah Gardner, co-founder of Mtetsi Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe. We are a luxury safari lodge based on the banks of the Zambezi River, and we offer our guests a combination of exclusive safari, tranquil river, the spectacular Victoria Falls, and warm, authentic Zimbabwean hospitality.
Amazing. And Sam Ghosh.
Hi, I'm Sam Ghosh, VP Operations for Stay Camden. Stay is a brand of service departments launched last year. In September, we've got new openings coming up in next spring and thereafter in the year after. So yeah, certainly a pipeline to look forward to, and looking forward to this session.
Totally. So let's put this all into perspective then. Every single hotel around the world pretty much is having to put together or had to put together an opening strategy again at the same time. How difficult was that for you guys? Sarah, maybe we can start with you, because obviously you mentioned that you were able to open to a local audience, and maybe you can talk about the benefits that had on your hospitality offering.
I think initially it was very frustrating for everyone. You know, we're all in the hospitality industry, so what we love doing is welcoming guests. And there was a period of 3 months where we were in a total lockdown here and we weren't able to welcome guests. But we made a commitment to keep our team together, and that put us in a very strong position. So we did a lot of back of house projects. We've actually just completed a new private airstrip, which I don't think we would have done if it wasn't for this low time in 2020. So that's massive. And then also, yeah, we've looked to Zimbabwean-based guests, many guests that would normally travel abroad. And we put together an offering that we could do that they could still have the Mtetsi experience at a price point that is, you know, more, I guess, more agreeable to someone who's based in Zim. And we've been welcoming those guests for 3 or 4 months, and it's kept our team busy. It's kept our team motivated. It's also given us opportunity to try some new different things. You know, maybe we wouldn't try something very cutting edge with our international travelers. So there's been huge opportunities in that.
Yeah, of course. And Carolyn, in regards to perhaps challenges, your hotel massively caters to you know, honeymooners, luxury honeymooners, and couples as well, traveling from the States and the UK and all over the world, of course. How has that been to adapt without them?
So, I mean, you know, when you suddenly see the first surveys coming in during COVID-19 saying that domestic travel will be the preferred travel choice for a long time, I mean, you suddenly realize you're sitting on an island and the only way you get to us is on a plane. So, you know, we started out actually just being closed, and the island, the government was very, very strict. We had to be recertified as COVID compliant properties. So there was a lot of work behind the scenes. Like Sarah said, we tried to, you know, enhance the property to the extent we could, and Other than that, it was a lot of training and introducing all these protocols. And I think that, you said, what is it, a hustle or opportunity? It was a very, very, I would say, challenging situation to really just adapt to the new normal. And we held on to our 500 staff, team members, which is a lot because Jade Mountain only has 29 sanctuaries and Anshastane 49. Not that they get the same salary, but I mean, there are no jobs. So we held on to everyone. And then again, going forward,
Hang on a minute, Carolyn,
yeah.
You hold on to everyone because your hotel is known for employing such a vast amount of people in order to support the local community. Isn't it like 500 staff on
500,
how many guest rooms are there?
Only 70.
Sanctuaries, so 70, so 500
yeah.
staff, and you managed to keep on to everyone. Well, congratulations, kudos to you.
We are determined, thank you. We are determined. So, and then there's been a lot of talk, how do you reposition yourself? But I think for us, it was really highlighting in our reopening strategy, all the values of the property, why you should in fact jump on a long haul flight to come to St. Lucia, to stay at Jade Mountain, stay at Anshastane, and rather than dropping the rate, which is really difficult when you try to also keep 500 team members on your payroll, we really we focused on value adds and really just try to use our social media to show all the reasons why everyone needs a holiday in St. Lucia right now. And so we didn't open to the local market. As Sarah did, we really ended up opening actually solely to the international market, because in St. Lucia there has been a separation. So we are catering to international travelers, and villas, for example, cater to Caribacationer, we call it, and staycationers.
Totally. You mentioned social media, and we'll absolutely touch upon that a bit later on because it's a huge solution and a tool moving forward, and you all utilize that very well. Kimberly, my heart goes out to you because you launched Le Coucou in Mirabel, which was designed by Pierre Jovanovic, and it's a beautiful hotel. But what happened there when you were asked to close your doors?
Yes,
how dramatic was that scene?
Yeah, we opened in December last year, and suddenly, like from one day to the next, our government shut us down. We had 2 days to close down the hotel. Our hotel is a season hotel, so we are only open 4 months out of the year. So suddenly, we had to, handle all, the closure of the hotel, and also all our staff, about 150 people that had to go home, to be safe with their close ones. So we had to make sure they had, transportation and organize all that for them. And as well as the guests that we had indoors, we were not able to serve them food anymore. We were like, how, people have to get home. They still need to eat in the meantime. So we had to go door to door to each room and deliver food to them, until they were able to get home. But the team was great because in 2 days they were able to close down the hotel, and we're so happy about that. We opened Saint-Tropez and Crillon-le-Brave Hotel in this summer, and at the beginning we were a bit scared with all the sanitary measures that we had to implement, because we wanted to make sure that it was safe for our guests, to come, stay at our hotels, and also safe for our staff. And we were also kind of scared because a big part of our market is international, for us at Crillon-le-Brave specifically, which is a hotel we bought 3 years ago that we renovated, but it has been open for 30 years, and it was owned by a Canadian-British family. 60% of our customers came from, either the UK, America, or Canada. So it was a bit difficult for us, and we turned this into, I think, a force. We saw an opportunity in this because we were able to market the hotel more towards the French customers, and we were. I think we did great because we had about 90% occupational rate during July and August, which was kind of like if nothing happened for 2 months. So it was great for the team to be able to, you know, be back at work like they used to, and to be able to do what we love, which is, you know, welcoming guests. And some of them, you felt it, they really needed the break, you know.
Well, I mean, some would argue that it's really difficult because obviously no one really, everyone's blind to what's going to happen. But, you know, the French hospitality scene reopened, and then obviously it's had a second spike. But, you know, the argument being whether that was a good move or a bad move is kind of irrelevant. But what it did do is it allowed people to come together again. And I know that's quite a scary prospect at the moment when people think about that physically. But when you talk about mental health and hospitality and the survival of hospitality as well, it was quite an integral integral thing to do. Do you agree with that, or?
Yeah, I agree.
Do you think that they should have been a bit more cautious?
Well, I think, you know, the problem was not necessarily in the hotels, you know, in the hospitality industry, especially in in the type of hotel we run, because we are kind of small hotels. We only have 34 rooms. We don't have, you know, large corridors or elevators or, you know, common areas that are very used by the guests, except maybe for the restaurants. But during the summer, it was mostly like outdoor. So I don't think we were not being cautious. I think, you know, it happened from people wanting to get together, maybe doing too many parties. I saw some people got married, and, you know, I think it went from there not being cautious. But I don't think, you know, the hospitality industry is to blame for, you know, not being cautious, because I think, you know, we kind of all did our part, and we are still doing it because, you know, we want to ensure security and safety for everybody.
Yeah, of course. Sam, in all of this, in our session that we've just done on adding personality in public areas, we're really talking about COVID being a disruptor, not necessarily a negative way, but actually allowing us to really sort of think about how we design public areas specifically. But that's really lent itself quite well to your style of sort of home tell, if you like. Can you see this going forward in the future as a long-term success, or is this really something that's happening right now and capturing the moment?
No, I think certainly there is, you know, the public areas do provide an add-on to a particular guest stay in an apartment. So, you know, the presence of plants, the presence of large spaces where people can actually safely work or socialize with social distancing measures still in place, you know, it's certainly something that can be carried forward. I think the virus is here, and it's here to perhaps stay until a credible vaccine comes out. But I think, you know, we are very fortunate to have those use of the social space for our clients who can come down from their apartment and use that space to even have a discussion with a fellow, with a neighbor perhaps, or with another friend or family member who might be self-isolating in another apartment. So I think it will certainly help. You know, we have obviously stayed open, as we said, but we have constantly revised our procedures based on government guidelines, you know, included and refined it properly. We also used the opportunity to bring in some of the procedures that was being that were currently in hotels. We were quick on our feet to get that into our apartments, such as the COVID safe stickers. So every apartment gets cleaned, and then the COVID safe sticker is put in, which only gets broken when a new guest actually arrives. So there is this added reassurance for clients to actually you know, come into an apartment to know that the apartment has been completely sanitized and nobody has been in the apartment since it's been cleaned. So I guess refining our procedures during the pandemic definitely helped us. You know, each one of our team members have come together and pulled through this strategy. We have put on a very robust comm strategy to inform our clients and guests through various channels as to what initiatives we have taken. So I wouldn't say it certainly has been a walk. It certainly hasn't been a walk in the park, but we have constantly, as a team, put together new procedures and plans based on changing government guidelines.
Yeah, of course. We're going to go live to our product watch pitch in just a moment, and after that break, after that segment, we're very much going to look at you know, social media and solutions moving forwards. I feel like this part of the session has been great to really get to know your your properties. So question I want to put forward to you before we go to that product watch segment is, everyone's in the same boat, but I can imagine that what everyone's sort of taken away from COVID-19 in regards to your geographical areas has been, is going to be different from others. What one thing has been a positive in all of this? Kimberly, I know it's looking a bit bleak at the moment in France, but has there been a positive for you?
For me, a positive thing in COVID.
Oh yes, you're pregnant. Yes, congratulations.
Yeah, so I didn't really have the time before, but being confined with my husband for 2 months, I think that would be my positive thing.
Oh, congratulations. That's amazing. Oh, and your honeymoon was just crazy. You went all around the world for your honeymoon, didn't you?
Yeah, actually, yes, I did. And I went to Zimbabwe, to Victoria Falls.
Ah, there we go.
I didn't get to stay at your hotel. I was in another hotel, but it was unbelievable. Unbelievable. We stayed there for 3 days, and we even had a swim at the Devil's Pool.
Has it changed your perspective on when you come back? When you're obviously back at the moment in planning, and I know that your whole family are workaholics in regards to finding the next location of the hotels and making sure that it all works from a brand perspective. But has it changed your perspective on how you will, I don't know, perhaps think about where you're going to open and the design of the hotels as well?
Not really, because I think the way we sort of hotels before, it was really like a small familial, and I think that's still what we want. A lot of outdoor and exceptional places. That's what we have in mind when we think of hotels. But it's true that we are very happy that we went into this direction of small luxury hotels rather than having a very big hotel. And I think now more than ever, it's try to create places where people can reconnect. And we felt it before with all the phone, the media, the web. We kind of felt, even though we were extra connected all together, we felt the need to reconnect. And I think now with what happened, even more, when you go on vacation, it's nice to meet people, and being able to be in like a friendly area with people that care for you and about your needs, and be able to exchange and make new acquaintances.
So I want to put this question to Carolyn, but I actually am also aware that your hotel, strangely but magnificently, is kind of catered to the post-pandemic world anyway, because Nick Trubetsky, your husband and the architect who created the hotel, took away the fourth wall, didn't he? Explain that and how that is going to be. Do you think that is a solution for hotels that are in hot destinations around the world that can rely on their climate to open up nature?
So if you want me to go on record that I suggest this is designers to drop a wall, I won't go that far. but it is really, when Nick started designing Jade Mountain, we already had a few open wall rooms at Anne Chastenay, and the guests reacted so positively to them. And really what happened at Anne Chastenay, which is the property we've had since the 70s, was the catalyst for the design of Jade Mountain. And Nick said, I want to design a hotel where you have almost an inspirational experience the minute you step into your suite, and we call the suite sanctuaries, which is a word that is used a lot now, but when we opened Jade Mountain 10 years ago, it wasn't really used that much. It's obvious, by the way, time passes.
It's just such a testament to the design.
It is, and so you're in an open wall suite where you're one-on-one with the view like you see on my screen. You have your own private infinity pool, you have a sun deck, and so wherever you are in your suite, you're always one-on-one with the view, with the sun, with the air. And Nick always said, even before COVID, you have fresh air. What else do you want? And I think this whole natural ventilation, even before COVID, our guests used to self-isolate. We always joked that the record was a guest that wouldn't come out of their sanctuary for 5 days and 5 nights. And that had nothing to do with COVID, let me tell you.
And I think we've kind of heard the benefits or the lessons learned from Sarah and Sam. Sarah, for you, I imagine it's really being able to open to that local market to really understand that as well.
Yeah, and I think the other aspect is realizing our whole thing is to offer guests the freedom of time and space, and that's always been a core part of our guest experience. And we're fortunate to be positioned to offer a very exclusive experience. But we've opened, like we now put out an exclusive buyout option for one of our camps or for the full camp as well. And that's something that's been really well received. And not really something that we thought about. We are a relatively small property. So for guests to take the whole property, and then they have 136,000 acres of land to explore, just all to themselves. So that's been another positive for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to go live to our product watch segment now. I know that the suppliers are eagerly waiting in the wings, we hope. And so in this segment, each supplier has 2 minutes to pitch their products and their innovations. And the reason why we wanted to include this in Hotel Designs Live is because there is a lack, or there are none. There are no trade shows at the moment happening, and we feel as if we always get inspiration from the latest products that we see emerging on the market. Obviously, during lockdown, products still launched, innovations still emerged, and we really want to give a nod to that. So we have, I believe, 4 or 5. We have 5 suppliers waiting in the wings. So we're going to start with Room to Breathe with Gordon. Gordon, are you there? Gordon, are you there?
Gordon's on mute.
I am here.
Hi, Gordon.
Hi there, sorry about
that. Don't worry. I haven't started your time yet because I'm kind. So your 2 minutes starts now.
Thank you, Hamish. Good afternoon all, and morning to some of you. We are delighted to be sponsoring this event put on by Forum Events. Having been involved in the indoor air quality industry for a combined 50 years with Dr. Pearson, the environment's changed now, and so we all need to evolve, and it's taken this pandemic really to focus people's minds on indoor air quality. What we offer is a peace of mind whilst future-proofing your business and enhancing your customers' experience. We improve the air quality and the wellness of guests way beyond anyone else in the world, we believe. We launched in late 2019 before COVID, and we'd seen some early interest from the likes of some local 5-star establishments, the likes of Gleneagles, the Ritz, which is not quite so local, the Old Course St Andrews, Crieff Hydro, Skiing Group in Aberdeen. But we offer solutions way beyond just COVID, and we've just recently installed actually a care home, one of the worst hit care homes in Scotland during COVID. But what is Room to Breathe? Once we take possession of your existing space, we carry out a number of tasks and treatments, and when we sign it off, the surfaces are permanently treated and protected. The air is constantly treated, removing 99.99% of pathogens and airborne contaminants, and that's not just viruses, that's VOCs and things that are emitted from furniture and paints and toxins and cleaning chemicals. Furthermore, our treatments prevent bed bugs, and also we allow you to rest your head on certified safe pillows with a partner called Sleep Angel. So we provide these pillows as part of our system as well. And before we leave, we
20 seconds
and display a certificate on the wall, and that's constantly maintained. Every 4 months, we come back and reapply. So it's not only for present times, but way into the future, way beyond just a COVID response. It's a hypoallergenic, removing toxins from the environment, returning to just water, microfiber cloths, all this type of cleaning the air, and constantly ongoing. So if you need any information, info at roomtobreathe.co.uk.
Amazing. I just wanted to quickly add that we've been following and working with Room to Breathe UK for a while now, and actually they launched pre-COVID, which I think is a real important part of their story as well. Okay, next we have Bush Tech, I believe. So here's a video from Bush Tech, which is 2 minutes, so it doesn't have to do the timer.
Welcome to the world of Bush Tech Safari. I'm Frans Vermaas. Bush Tech Safari is part of the Canvas and Tent Group, and we have been manufacturing tents for glamping and safari resorts for over 50 years. With our motto, designed to impress, built to last, we offer a wide range of standard tents which are all customizable, or we can do a bespoke design based on your specific requirements. Our tents are designed and manufactured for year-round use in various weather conditions, from the African bush to the Arabian desert, to the woodland landscapes of Europe and even tropical island-style resorts. Bushtec Safari has got you covered. Luxury tented resorts have become global trending destinations for luxurious and comfortable accommodation, promising unique experiences without compromising on quality. Our award-winning design team is ready to assist you in creating your dream resort. We can also work in collaboration with your architect to create a one-of-a-kind bespoke design. Together with our sister brand Bushtec Creations, we offer a full turnkey solution for your resort or lodge. Only superior quality, eco-friendly materials are used to craft our tents. Our South African-based state-of-the-art factory is also ISO certified. Over decades, our tents have proven to withstand the test of time. With partners in Europe and the US and agents worldwide, we are proud of our renowned global footprint. Contact us today. We've got you covered. Better, best, Bushtec.
Very good time management there from Bushtec, and they are on this call as well, so they'll be sharing in the chat some links so that you can see their products and contact them as well. Up next, we have Air Revive. So Jacob, are you there?
I'm here.
Hello, Jacob.
How are you doing?
Your 2 minutes starts now. Good, thank you.
Never has air quality and cleanliness been given as much attention as it has today. Obviously, the COVID has highlighted a lot of problems in the air. So we, the HCI group, have come up with a new module, basically, that clears the air completely, eradicates viruses, including corona. How this is achieved, as you can see in this PowerPoint, is that the Air Reviver releases positive and negative ions into the air. The chemical reaction, it attaches itself to the viruses, and then it actually eradicates the actual particles. It makes them redundant and unable to cause any harm. We actually install these products. You have the next slide. If we actually install these products into air purifiers, which have HEPA filters. These filters are the same which you see in hospitals and in aircraft. We also install a UV light, a silver ion filter, which literally nothing can get through that. And what this does is takes the air into the air filter and all these redundant particles, and it makes them completely eradicates them from the air. This is available in quite a few different models. If you've got the next slide, it's actually available as a duct model. So this can be installed into an existing HVAC system. We've got the Cube model, which is a modular model, the Pura model, the Stratus unit, which is ideal as a freestanding unit. The Cumulus unit is a modular unit, which it can clear up to 180 square meters of airspace, and the very reasonable Air Reviver module. If you need any further details, please come to hci-uk.co.uk or air-reviver.co.uk.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Jacob. And then next we have Bromic.
Yes, thank you, Hamish.
Hi, Leonardo. Your time starts now.
Very good. So again, thank you for having me on board. My name is Leonardo Murata with Bromic Heating. We are an outdoor heating designer and manufacturer based in Sydney, Australia, with offices in Los Angeles in the US and in the Netherlands here in Europe as well. So we design both gas, electric, and freestanding portable outdoor heating units to help heat outdoor spaces through infrared heating technology. Infrared heating is really the only true way to heat an outdoor space. You can't use an HVAC system to blow hot air into an outdoor space and expect it to remain warm and temperate. What the COVID-19 situation has taught us is that a lot of both restaurant and hotel rooftop customers, for example, are much more comfortable being seated in an outdoor space rather than in an indoor space. And a lot of countries still have many restrictions on indoor dining, so that affects F&B operations at hotels. So the hotels that do have outdoor spaces or rooftop spaces are really, really going to be able to capitalize on, sort of the premium customer who will be attracted to outdoor spaces. We help heat these outdoor spaces. As you can see in this picture, we offer an electric heater which can be seamlessly integrated into a ceiling for a very clean, flush look. We work with architects and designers, but we can also work with facilities, contractors at physical hotels to help design a heating solution that will work best for any particular outdoor space. If you have any questions or would like to understand a little bit more about how we can help transform your outdoor patio spaces, as you can see here in this image, we have our tungsten electric heaters mounted to a trellis pergola system. This is the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in Beverly Hills. Feel free to give me shoot me an email, leonardom@bromic.com. Our website is bromic.com/heat.
I just forgot to mention that we've done a lot of work with UVC lighting, and we did a whole roundtable on that recently. So back to AeroVibe's pitch, and it's super, super relevant at the moment, and also just as relevant as outdoor spaces are to keep them clean and hygienic. So all very relevant there. Next, we're going to hear from Phil, and we're going to hear from Crestron.
For as long as I can remember, hotel guests have been able to find services they did not have in their homes, such as international channels. Nowadays, hotel clients and international travelers have everything they need at home, and they want to find the same experience in the guest room. This means that a bring your own device capability is especially important. Hoteliers have to provide guests with not only connectivity to the internet, but also the capacity to use their own devices to control the TV, connect to a playlist of music, to manage presentations in a meeting room, and communication apps such as Teams and Zoom. This is now a must-have.
What would you like your home to do for you? Awaken you. Comfort you. Entertain you. And give you peace of mind no matter where you may be. Bring your idea of home to life with Crestron Home. Smart home technology that's intuitive and simple. Instantly responsive to your touch or the sound of your voice. Designed to be invisible so that all that remains is the experience. Your experience. Your home just as you imagined.
Brilliant, and that's Crestron. Just to let you know that in the next session, Hotel Designs Live, when we look at the revival of smart tech in the post-pandemic world, we will, we actually went to a completely contactless hotel experience ahead of Hotel Designs Live to review that, and within that featured Crestron's technology. Obviously, Technological Innovations Group in association with Crestron are very much sponsoring the entire Hotel Designs Live, and it's also worth noting that they have done so from the off. So thank you, Technological Innovations Group and Crestron, and I'm very impressed that we managed to do that so seamlessly in the same studio, Phil. So back to the conversation, and can we please have our panelists? Are they all in? Brilliant. So one thing that keeps coming up time and time again at the moment with the conversations I'm having is that the solutions for the luxury market in regards to post-pandemic world will be different to the ones in the lifestyle. And one thing that's becoming more apparent is that the consumers in the luxury market are going to be less willing to change, or less willing for the hotel environment around them to change and not be familiar to what they were used to. Whereas in the lifestyle section in the sector, it's a little bit more easy to do that. Do you agree with that? And I kind of want to go to Carolyn first, just to understand from your perspective.
So really, in a way, as you have said yourself, Hamish, the fact that we have created such a rather unusual ambiance really led to us not having to make many changes. Basically, our luxury client gets precisely what they got before COVID, in as much that the open wall, the few, their private pools that are up to 900 square feet in size, this environment is pristine, it's there. What has changed is that we set out to want to keep it rather unplugged. So there's no televisions, but it was obvious even before COVID that you needed to really up the ante with your connectivity. So now we've invested in the entire connectivity side of things. We needed to unclutter the rooms and take out our beautiful poetry books, you know, everything that I held dear in terms of wanting to give our guests a special environment with carefully selected books. And so we put everything on an electronic tablet, which is like as techno we will get, but it was important, and it was a little getting used to, but I don't think that for the guests that would be so much to get used to, because that's what they're seeing everywhere anyway. So for us, it was a bigger step forward. But I would like to think that even in the design, the spacing of the tables, there's so much space. It hasn't changed, the ambience, nor has the service level or the experience changed.
That's really great to hear, because when I checked into Anse Chassenay and Jade Mountain, it was just such a breathtaking experience from the word go. And that's interesting. And the other thing that there's a lack of is there's no clocks in the sanctuaries either, is there? Which I didn't even notice when I was there, but it wasn't until I read up on it afterwards. Yeah, but I guess you don't need to if you've literally got the sunlight to tell you what time it is.
I think it's a sunrise to sunset experience,
yes,
and I think guests really go into tune with that.
Yeah, of course. Sam, in regards to lifestyle hotels, then, which correct me if I'm wrong, but your product sort of sits in that segment. Do you think it's easier? Well, it kind of is easier to make those changes, but how far can you go in order to change the experience of what the guest was used to before?
I think from a lifestyle perspective, we haven't quite changed. We've probably done some amendments. We've done some refinements to how the guests can use those lifestyle choices. So, for example, our gym that we have, we have restricted people going into the gym. There are advanced protocols in place. So guests can use the gym, but they will just be restricted to certain timeframes, etc. We pride ourselves in the service standards as well. So we've continued to offer that service. However, that smile when you come to check in, that kind of personal touch when you come to collect your package, a bit of a chit chat, we've been restricted to doing so because, our team, it's kind of a hindrance behind barriers and behind masks, etc. So that certainly changed. But I think we've kind of introduced it in a more safe environment, in a more, to reassure our guests that we are doing everything we can, not to just break the hospitality, but making some tangible changes to make them feel safe. Our apartments are all self-contained, so they have outside space, they have cooking facilities, etc. And we, our front office team have helped and aided towards helping guests to order food if they're self-quarantining in the apartments, to deliver products if they want at their doorstep instead of actually getting a cleaner to clean the apartment. So all the services that existed, we've just tried to offer the same service and same standards throughout the COVID, but with certain subtle changes to make.
I think also everyone understands, like it's a pandemic for the whole. It's a worldwide issue. Everyone understands the need for change and adaptation, and that's going to disrupt to some degree the consumer journey to what it was before. So I totally get your point. Sarah, your hotel also is very much catered to the post-pandemic world because you have two camps that don't necessarily operate at the same time. Is that right? And they alternate between them.
Yeah, we can operate like that. So that's what we've been doing when we're on lower occupancies. So we can switch from one camp to the other. we've also, by design nature, our tables are guest to individual dining, which is different to some other safari properties. And we've designed quite a large space, so guests are naturally in different spaces. We also have different dining areas. So right now we have guests who are dining in our main guest area, but others who are having a private dining experience in the wine cellar. So there's those sorts of options, and being able to have more private experiences. If guests would like to do private in-room dining, that's something that we can easily offer for them as well. And I think it's about that custom touch point. So explaining to the guests, these are our standards. We do this sort of, you have a personal housekeeper, so the same housekeeper is looking after your room throughout your stay, and this is how often they'll attend to the room. Would you like it more or less regularly? Generally, guests are very happy with standard, but it's nice to be able to customize. Also, our guests are looked after by a personal butler, so it's the same person who's coming to serve them their breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Metetsi just feels like family to me. When I was there, it's just everyone's just so friendly and kind and lovely, and very very helpful from the word go. So and things are communicated very clearly. Like, for example, you can't really be walking to your suite on your own at night because there's the very live threat of a lion being there. So you have to kind of be chaperones to your suite, but things like that are explained very well. So I can absolutely see how that would adapt in the post-pandemic world.
Communication is key. The one thing is that we're usually very much a handshake or a big hug. One of our butlers, Rashida, she's known for her amazing hugs, and that's something I can see her, even now she goes forward for the hug and it just ends up being an air hug at a distance.
I'm definitely a hugger. I'm hating every moment of it. And of course I keep saying post-pandemic world, but really we're not in a post-pandemic world at all. We're very much in a pandemic world. So Kimberly, your hotel kind of is a mixture between the two. It's very luxury. It is catered to the luxury market, of course, but it has absolutely like a couture nature in regards to its design, especially with Pierre Jovanovic having designed the Cuckoo. Do you feel as if there's kind of like you're therefore kind of in the middle ground in regards to some customers that will accept the change and some customers that will be a bit more resilient?
Well, in terms of design, we didn't make any, we changed some stuff, of course, but we didn't change a lot. We tried to remove everything that was, within touch of the customer, inside the rooms or in the public areas. We also got rid of the room directory and added the, QR codes and try to put as much information inside the TV. Before it was just a smart TV that you can use to watch stuff. Now it's kind of like your room directory. We have added, glass screen for the reception desk, just to add another barrier between the guest and the staff. We have added hand sanitizer, which we try to make them look as nice as possible everywhere in common areas. So that's the big issue. Where should you put it? How to make it look nice? We had to get rid of the breakfast buffet, which was one of our favorite, but it's better like this. So now we serve a la carte breakfast and continental breakfast. We had to also have a new way of checking in and checking out for the people who want to. So we send out, check-in emails for the guests to register before its time of arrival. It's like checking into a plane. It's a little bit weird, but when the customer arrives at the hotel, he just needs to sign something and doesn't have to go through the whole process. Which is
well, that kind of came up in the last session, whether these public areas will become more of a stage, more theatre, and actually all the operation will be done pre-check-in in regards to check, which was already happening anyway, really as well. I have a question just in regards to like air purification. We've seen a lot of products emerge onto the market in lockdown and during the COVID-19 crisis. But obviously, Room to Breathe are sponsoring the session. And I'm just interested to know your thoughts really on how much emphasis you've put in to, from a long-term perspective, on room cleanliness. And have you got any tips for for our audience. I don't know who wants to take this, but I'm just intrigued to know your honest perceptions on how you would, whether or not you would use products like that going forward in like, you know, not just tomorrow or for the next week, but actually in years to come as well? Or can we not quite think about that yet because we don't really have answers?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
We actually use, you know, like a air purifier and inside the rooms every time there is a checkout to make sure, you know, the room has been disinfected, and also we clean out all the, you know, the surface. You
so
know,
it is very much on your agenda, and it is very much not just a short-term solution, but actually a long-term structure that hotels should just have in common place.
You know, I think unfortunately this pandemic is going to give us some lessons of hygiene lessons, you know, because
yes.
some stuff that we are doing now, some measures that we are taking now that are just, when you think about it, like how did we not do this before? Like, why would we not put a mask on before going to a hospital? You know, it's like, why? And then why don't you have access to sanitizer in every elevator? You know, it's so dirty to touch all those buttons all the time. So it's just some stuff that are going to stay, you know, they have to stay just because it just makes more sense. Even though there is no more COVID-19, there would always be, you know, the flu or, you know, something else. So.
No, I totally agree. Sam, did you want to add something?
Yeah, no, I think I totally agree with Kimberly. I think it has opened our eyes to various, you know, provide an extra layer of protection and reassurance for our clients. And I think some of it are easily sustainable, such as we use Prozone machines now after a guest checkout, which kind of purifies and cleanses the air. We also use electrostatic sprays at the time of cleaning, not only the rooms, but the public areas, high touch points, you know, voice control elevators, brass handles. All of this kind of will affect our design of hotels and spaces in future as well. So certainly something to look forward to. I think some of it could pose a threat to the sustainability because such as, you know, electrostatic sprays. I mean, all of this obviously is a time restraint and a cost restraint as well. So we'll have to wait and watch how this kind of, you know, after the pandemic, the things that we can actually sustainably incorporate within our operation and things that we can do without. So time will tell.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to add one more thing from a supplier that we work with, which is Crosswater. They're our headline sponsor for the Britlist Awards 2020, but they just wanted to add a little statement, if you like, but it certainly leads into a few questions. And I think that their statement, although it's quite a long email, it very much sort of lends itself into the change of mindset when it comes to wellness areas, and the fact that maybe wellness areas won't just be segregated to one hotel, like the spa, for example. Sam, you were saying that, you know, at the moment, as a short-term solution, you're having time slots with spas, but that's maybe not a long-term solution because that really does disrupt the consumer journey and also creates a barrier for the consumer. But, you know, do you think that wellness will now be more injected in like the bathrooms, for example?
Yeah, certainly. I think any new initiatives that you know, brands can take over just for consumer confidence and business B2B confidence is all good. So yeah, absolutely happy to look into new products that are coming in the market just to understand feasibility, because there is obviously a cost and time element. But where there is technology out there, you know, everyone should appraise it and proactively take it on board.
Yeah, and I think also wellness isn't just dedicated to water and to bathrooms, but actually, you know, well-being and wellness of the whole entire. I think it really should be a core of hospitality moving forward, and it was already. I think we need to really give credit to hospitality to show that, you know, we were doing a very good job before, and as Kimberly mentioned, we absolutely have learned lessons throughout this. But I think what's really positive is a lot of the stuff we were discussing before the pandemic hit, which I think is a real positive. I want to, we do have to end the session momentarily, but before I do, I wanted to get your stance on social media, because it's such a huge topic. We could have a whole session on it itself, and actually we may do that in the next Hotel Designs Live, which will come in early 2021. There you go, got a plug in there. Carolyn, Jade Mountain is so iconic. Ange Chassenay is an iconic hotel. They frame the pitons, and I think everyone who understands luxury probably has seen Jade Mountain in their social media posts. What have you changed in the pandemic in regards to catering to your audience and in regards to like communicating to your audience on social media?
Well, I mean, we almost felt that the world, or like at least our past or future guests, needed us and they wanted to hear from us. So we posted a lot more, and we ensured also that we had videos. I think that the live sessions from the property or videos are so important now. And I'm doing more and more of those. I did one where I ran from Jade Mountain all the way down to the beach, and you know the property, so it was an interesting live session where I tried to hold
Stairway
the phone
to heaven.
I can tell you that I feel that the business built up quickly because of our strengths on social media and the aspirational quality of the property, the beautiful views, the ambience of the rooms has certainly helped us tremendously to jump back so quickly. And as I said, you know, we're quite happy with the business build up that we see so far.
Totally. And Carolyn, when you mentioned video, our production team at Cube Video were nodding their heads furiously, saying, yes, that's definitely the way to go on social media. So that's funny. Sam, in regards to like from a lifestyle perspective then, what sort of things has your brand been communicating on social media?
I think generally we've kind of focused mostly on our changing protocols, cleaning protocols, what our offerings is, how that offering is apt for the current environment we live in, for the clients, for the discerning clients that are coming in. We've also kind of propagated our initiative towards the key worker, NHS, supporting them to kind of shield complimentary of charge. So we've kept the positive news flowing. We have kept the news about our changing environment, the new protocols that we have introduced with the government guidelines, rather than sort of any kind of commercial messaging as such in this very difficult time.
Yeah, and Sarah, we're nearly out of time, but we want to hear from everyone on this topic. So, Sarah, I guess the communication communication method has been wildlife, has it not?
Yeah, I think initially in lockdown, the big focus was to just put a positive message out there. So every little positive thing, whether it was wild dog puppies that were being born, or our team were, doing the Jerusalem challenge, if anyone knows what that is, putting that out there just to inspire people and to know that at some point you will be able to travel and come and experience these things. And then the other side of it is, I was just going to say very targeted advertising on social media for guests that have been able to come and visit us has been really, really successful.
Absolutely. And Kimberly, from your perspective, I know that you really sort of filter into fashion a lot on your social media.
Yeah, we try to be, very lifestyle. We have a lot of influencers that came, the past year to our hotel. So we asked them to do like a kind of like a postcard format, where they send us their pictures and their, memories from back when they were stayed at the hotel. So it gives us, something to communicate to our audience. We also, worked with our chef to do some cooking recipes. We, worked with influencer, like gym influencers to do some, live gym, Pilates or yoga on our accounts, and it was nice. I think people are liking it, and they need. During the confinement, they needed something to be, No,
of course, upbeat and positive for sure. And actually, when I stayed at the property, I'm going to embarrass myself now, but I tried to do a lifestyle influencer shop. I just looked like I was in pain. I was like. So that was quite funny. But yeah, beautiful properties. Thank you so much for joining us from St. Lucia, Zimbabwe, France, and the UK as well. Thank you so much. Just to let everyone know that our next session goes live at 1 o'clock, at 2 o'clock, apologies for that, 2 o'clock. And it is here where we will air for the first time, our video to show you what happened when I checked in to a hotel that is completely contactless. This video was obviously sponsored by Technological Innovations Group and Crestron, and the hotel that was in question was Block Hotel Gatwick. So you don't want to miss that. Tune in at 2 o'clock, where we will be back with Hotel Designs Live. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to all the Product Watch pitches as well, Room to Breathe for sponsoring this session, and of course, all of our speakers as well. We'll see you at 2 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.